This is episode 2 of the critically acclaimed series about reasonable efforts. We have talked about reasonable efforts and how they're beneficial and how they can help the family, but it's also important to remember that reasonable efforts just aren't a good idea, they're actually a legal requirement. Reasonable efforts can be frustrating. I've had case managers and investigators come up to me and say, this family's not going to engage, why do I even bother making this referral? And honestly, sometimes they're right. The CPI will go to the family and say, hey, I found some crystal meth in your child's bed. Would you mind completing a substance abuse evaluation? And the father says, no, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and keep doing me. None of us have a crystal ball. Just because a parent won't engage today doesn't mean they won't be willing to engage tomorrow. I know it's frustrating when you try to work with the family and you try to help them and they keep shutting you down at every turn. But your efforts are important. Until you give the parents a chance to engage, you really don't know what they're going to do. And from the standpoint of legal, your reasonable efforts actually strengthen our cases. So when you're in court and an attorney asks, what did you do to try to prevent the removal of this baby? You can say, well, I helped the parents obtain funds to stay in a motel for a few days. However, the parents did not make the repairs and they continued to test positive for Giggle Pig. For case managers, if we can't show that you've made reasonable efforts, we can't achieve permanency through a TPR. Lack of reasonable efforts is a defense to a termination of parental rights proceeding. And that means we have to start all over, which delays permanency even longer. If the mother never completed her psychological exam, the attorney may ask, well, what did you do to assist her? And it's better if you can respond by saying, I obtained funding, identified a provider, made the referral. I also ensure she has transportation, and I reminded her the day before the appointment to make sure she attends. Compare that to, oh yeah, I made the referral, but, the mom never followed through. Remember, reasonable efforts is a legal requirement. Well, that's all for me today, and I'll see you guys for the next episode.